Well, it may finally be all over. I was mowing yesterday and it started bogging and just like spewing oil. But I think it's coming out of the bottom of the valve cover, which would tell me it had a ton of blow-by. So I hope this thing didn't just eat crap. All the hydraulics are good, so you hate to not just throw something in it. But you know, as far as cost goes, if this thing's fuckered, I think I'll just get a robot. Yeah, it might even be my fault. It's just like packed full of grass and shit, so it's not getting any cooling. Spark plug's dry, so at least it didn't. Check the other side. Okay, both plugs looked okay. It was spewing out of this valve cover, so it's probably making so much blow-by that I'm just gonna keep doing it. The bolts weren't loose. I'm gonna see if it starts out of curiosity. If I can get it up near the garage, I can at least look into it a little bit, but I don't want to do much work on this thing. E-brake. God, I got fucking hiccups. I don't think it's gonna fire up. There was no compression. Well, I do want to buy a robot, but it doesn't make sense to leave this with no engine. No one will want to buy it. The new one should be here soon. They said 12 to 2 today. So I grabbed the Briggs and Stratton, same power, same shaft size, vertical V-twin that should, I hope, just go in place without too much modification. And it should be as easy as hooking up fuel, a starter, and the solenoid for the shut-off for the fuel. So we'll see. It doesn't come with a muffler, so I'll have to come up with something for that. That one's too beat up to bother trying to reuse or make it fit. But key is we'll get this thing out, clean up the base a bit, try to get the next one in, and see what it takes to make it actually run. That was cool. The UPS guy just got here and he comes ripping out of the truck with this thing in both hands like a maniac. And he's like, yeah, you got 90 pounds of something in here. And it's like, yeah, it's a motor for that lawnmower. And I guess he rebuilds mowers and stuff for side gigs, so he knew all about this thing. He's just like, yeah, he's like, you'll have trouble getting money for it, especially if it's not running. But he's like, at the same time, it's like they haven't made these for a long time, so anybody that wants it for commercial use, they're just not going to be interested. So it'll have to be someone like me, where you find a homeowner that just wants some beater mower for cheap. Oh, nice. A little more compact too, so. Must add oil before starting engine. Pro tip. Cool, yeah, packaging's good. It's got an oil filter, it's got a fuel filter, so I can just plug my line right in. Yeah, I hope this just works out. At the part that sucks, I've got electrical disconnected, fuel's disconnected, cables and shit are out. It's the only thing holding the engine are the bolts and the pulley, and this mother that I welded back together. It doesn't matter if the bearings roach because it doesn't spin anymore, but this all comes off as one piece, and it's like, that's really on there. Like, it went on hard when I bolted it on. I was like, screw it, I'll never have to take it off again. But it looks like the smaller pulley will come out of the plate, so once I get this bad boy off, I can pull that belt, lift the thing out. I'm just not entirely sure how I'm gonna do it. I made more space using the jack as a backup to the stands, because you never know. These front casters are chopped, but if something crazy happens, yeah, way easier to see. I just don't know. I guess if I put that bolt back in, right, and then grab, not on the springy clutch part, but on the pulley, I might be able to pull it off. I worry about crushing the lip of that. I guess I can just hammer it back out, but yeah, I think bolt goes back in, but protruding, and then we just try to pull it off. That's gonna be a ticket. Okay. I might have to drill like a centering hole in that, and these want to slide off the pulley already, so this might work, it might not. No idea till we try, right? Maybe it'll kind of dig its own hole. Yeah, it's just bending the shit out of it. I can't pull there. Can't do it. Fuck that pulley up forever and ever. Okay. New plan is to, I tried heating it and beating on it. Didn't seem to be going anywhere. So I'm going to try to make a cardboard template. And I'll cut some thick ass plywood to kind of act as a support. So maybe I'll get enough force on it without bending the pulley. Still, okay, let's give that side a do-over. Close enough, I think. Okie dokie. Let's see, probably want this way. Oh, watch it not fit between the pullets because I cut too thick of a piece. That's classic job. So I'll make the center a little bigger. That way it'll fit in. Ooh, okay. Now it slides in there. Boom. It's close to all the edges. I think this might work. I'm gonna have to move the legs of my pulley around. Okay, hopefully it doesn't pop off. I just don't know. Appears to be starting to cut. You can see I got into it a little bit. I don't know how long it'll last. It's a blade I happened to find in a van when I bought it, so van to the rescue. I'm just gonna cut for a little bit, see if I can get it. I tried pulling the pulley off, just thinking I'll mangle it and get another one, and all it is mangle it, and it didn't even budge, so it sucks. Yeah, Dave came over, we're cutting it. It's hard to see, but there's not much left. Get it in frame in case something funny happens. Like it rolls over and crushes my knee.
Feel it.
Alright, you want to double two and pull it out of the driveway?
Yeah. Light this down?
Yeah, might as well. Yeah, there's the keyway.
Yep.
So I'll have to get a top pulley because that has its own sleeve. I'll have to get a clutch assembly. So top pulley, clutch, and then the parts I need to have the clutch actually work instead of be welded is like another $500.
Still.
At least I can get this cleaned up. Time to get this cleaned up. Gave it some time out in the yard, hosed out all the nasties. There's just, I'm not going to bother trying to clean too much of this stuff because it's just so thick. But should be good to set the other motor in and see where the engine mounting holes line up. Dave came over, helped me put the motor on, and we took the exhaust out, and this thing's fucking in there. I don't know what it is. That side was not bolted down all the way, but what the hell is that?
That's wild.
Yeah. I wonder if there's some kind of, I wonder if there's like a sleeve inside the head. Like the heads are aluminum, right. There's a sleeve, and that sleeve roached out while it was overheating. I don't know. I'll have to look at parts diagram and see if it makes any sense. So I'll just make this a two-part. Super interesting. The bolt holes line up, and the exhaust is only off by like a 1/4 of an inch. I think what I'll do while I'm waiting for parts to show up is I'll cut these flanges off and reuse them, and find some pipe the same size and figure out some kind of fun exhaust setup for it that's not too loud. Not that my neighbors care. I mean, this thing, the exhaust was loose by like a 1/4 inch. That's why that thing blocking it didn't screw it up. So yeah, we'll make this a stopping point, and then when I get the rest of the parts in, the new pulleys, new clutch, all that kind of stuff, we'll do a part 2.